Okay, well, we might have some...
technical issues. That camera over there, that one, not you, that one,
Shouldn't be doing that.
is having some weird issues on the monitor.
That was weird. Some weird feed issue.
Welcome to Talk About Scary, the show where we do just that. Talk about scary places. And I don't know what camera to look at.
You just pick a camera. Just pick a camera, look at it, and then when you want to switch, you switch to the next one.
Yeah,
that's all you
but
have
like
to do.
if I'm looking over there,
I did something weird.
that was weird. What was that?
I don't know. It's still doing it. Whew. Okay, well, we might have some...
technical issues. That camera over there, that one, not you, that one,
Shouldn't be doing that.
is having some weird issues on the monitor.
That was weird. Some weird feed issue. Okay.
Anyway, what I was going to say after that was we are coming to you live. Well, when you watch it, it won't be live, but we are in person right now.
We're
on
in person.
this couch at the Monte Vista Hotel, located in cold Flagstaff, Arizona.
Historic
Cold
Flagstaff, Arizona.
If I'm looking at that one, I feel like that one's neglected.
It's okay. They went
I'm
to your
just-
side profile.
I'm just gonna be like,
A nice side profile.
hey.
Just pick one and look at it. It'll be fine. We have 2 cameras set up today. Actually, we have 4 cameras set up because we already saw some pretty unnerving things here, and one of them we almost missed, and we're not going to fall for that again. Not going to fall for that. So,
Other ghost.
many of you, loyal listeners, thank you so much, by the way. We love you.
Still doing it.
Is it still doing it? Oh, gosh.
Still doing it.
It's recording. It's all that matters to me. The monitor can do whatever it wants.
Huzzah! The episode must go on.
It's going to go on. A lot of our loyal listeners, thank you, loyal listeners, and viewers.
Thanks or whatever.
Thank you. We thank you. Thank you so much for all your the generous donation of your time. We wanted to. This is a listener request. Our first episode we ever talked about was at the Monte Vista Hotel in Flagstaff, Arizona, where we are right now, right off San Francisco Street, right outside our window here. And we told a story about all the hauntings at the Monte Vista. In particular, room 306 is the scariest one for me. I told Clay I don't generally believe in this nonsense at all. However, some things can't be explained. So, my wife and I stayed here. I'm going to recap real quick. Is that okay? I recap?
Yeah, I'm gonna take a nap.
Okay. My wife and I were staying here. There used to be a Maloney's Pub right over here out this window down the street. We decided to stay here. Very romantic, very nice time. And after our very romantic, very nice time, she fell asleep soundly, so soundly that she would not be woken up. Probably from the alcohol. And we had a lot of beer.
Did you punch her?
Did not punch her. I did not punch women. So,
Punching always works.
if you want to wake a woman up, punching will work. I wouldn't really suggest it. So there's a door over here, and the bed was situated in a different direction when we stayed here. And there was a light by the door, and the bed was by the door. And I turned the light off. I'm kind of jittery. You can hear it in my voice still. I'm a little bit nervous. I turned the light off after I locked the doors. At the time, there was a deadbolt chain. There was a chain. There was a deadbolt, and there was a door knob lock. And I shut it firmly, locked, chained it. I went to turn the light off, and the first lock popped, deadbolt popped, door flew open, and hit the chain. I sat against this wall staring at that door for the rest of the night till about 7 a.m. when I woke her up finally, and we left. I was terrified, and I always promised that I would never, ever, ever come back here.
Here we are!
Yeah, I didn't want to, but here we are. And so far, lots of weird things have happened. Obviously, people always say things have happened. We talked to a girl downstairs, and she says that she had a seance in this room. and there was a rocking chair that started moving on its own. The rocking chair is placed out of the way now. Do not pay attention to that monitor. Our electronics are kind of going crazy here. I don't know why. They just kind of are.
It's pretty cool, though, when an employee that works at the hotel is willing to open up and tell you about her experiences.
Mm-hmm.
And not only that, but in this very room, she mentioned a couple of things that she has seen and heard. And has friends that have seen and heard things that have been seen and heard.
And heard and seen.
In this room. But anyway, it's pretty cool. And we figured, how can you talk about scary in a better place than at the scary place that you're talking about?
It's true. It's 100% true. How could you talk about it? It would be impossible. Next to impossible.
Well, we could talk about it from our homes like normal. But
we're not doing that anymore, probably. It's not going to happen that way. Told you.
What is that?
Nothing yet.
Sorry, I just wanted to.
And for our listeners at home, because this is obviously not a video. Church bells. This is you will not get this video if you're at home. The exact same thing happened after we came in the door. Clay picked up some of these. What do you call these rods here, Clay?
They're like they're used for a couple of different things, but they're like ghost hunting copper rods.
Divining rods, right?
Yeah, that you use, and they are supposed to respond to magnetic energy that is in the air. So kind of like a compass, how it always points north because of the magnetic field on Earth. So a lot of different things can happen, but you hold them straight forward, try to keep as steady as possible, and they are supposed to move.
And they are moving. And these things are pretty stiff. They're not
they
really...
Are. And they're both pointing...
to the window behind Clay.
Window behind me. So... let's go straight into it and set those down, because the last time we got them out, the door opened, and...
The door opened again, and we had shut it firmly again, and now it's a magnetic lock, you know, the ones you use the keys for, that you can't even get into without a lock, and the damn thing opened on its own. Twice. First time we were talking about it, those rods pointed directly at the door in a second, and they opened up. We got that on camera, so guys, if you're listening to this podcast, go check out the episode we'll have.
It's a movie.
It's a movie. It's a full-length feature. So go check it out. We'll keep you updated on what platforms it'll be on.
I don't know what to do with my hands. I'm not used to, like, seeing myself.
It's weird, right?
Like...
Yeah, this is the way I usually set up the cameras at my house.
I don't do it like this.
It's weird, huh? I think that you should know how you look to your folks at home.
What? Yep.
There you go. So, anyway, it happened again. I was real scared.
He goes like this.
It
shows me his arm.
Every hair was standing on my arm.
Massive goosebumps. Full-blown chicken.
And I was still nervous and shaky about it, but hey, we're doing it. We're doing the thing, and that's all there is to it. So.
But anyway, the rods. Just now, you saw. We have proof. Rewind the episode if you forgot already.
If you're watching the episode, if you're listening to it, you can't really see it.
Just take our word for it. We're not lying. We have nothing to gain from lying. But the rods just pointed at the window. So since we're in this room, we're going to talk about 306 and some other parts of the hotel. But let's start with the scary things in this room. And the window is kind of the main backdrop of the biggest haunting.
Right behind us. The window is... We're sitting in a couch with a window right behind us.
Which hand? This one. Over here.
Wait, it's weird. You have to get used to it. Right's left, left's right. Okay.
This is what the rods are like. Just...
everywhere. Spinning on.
But anyway, it was years ago in the 1940s. We talked about this in the previous episode. 2 prostitutes were brought to this very room. Could be here now. They're spirits, anyway. And they were killed and thrown from this window.
I believe they were strangled. Does it say strangled or just killed?
I'm on the Monte Vista their hotel website, and it just says killed. But
now I think that I had checked out some other reputable sources, and one of them said that they were strangled, which is
you can be strangled until you die.
Yeah, you can be strangled to death instead of like stabbed or anything else. But they said they were strangled, choked to death, and then tossed out this very window right here. This is the window. right here. These windows look pretty original to 1927. They're single pane. Look like nothing's changed. They definitely haven't repainted anything. The finish on these things is old as hell. Doors too. Not a lot of renovation has gone into as much as they said it has.
There's a TV right there.
That's about all they've done, and put a refrigerator in the corner. Once in a while, I'm going to look away or be quiet for a second as electronics keep clarking out on us, which is fine.
It's weird. I feel stupid saying it because you always watch those like ghost hunting shows and they're like, what's going on with our equipment? Ah! But it's legitimately happening, and you can see both of us looking over at that camera as it's having issues. We have 2 other cameras that we're not using for this episode. They're DSLRs set up behind these cameras, shooting at us. Just so we can get more of the room in case something happens. Adam mentioned it, but I can't see.
We have
what
it
they're
really
doing.
well lit in here too because we're chicken shits, and we just
Yeah.
I want to make sure there's all the light. I'm gonna sleep with all the lights on tonight. I'm just gonna check the camera real quick while we're talking. Keep talking.
But anyway, I can't see what those cameras are doing, so they could be having issues too. They might be malfunctioning. They might have been shut off. I don't know. And now I'm the only host of Talk About Scary, so we're changing the name of this
Talk
to...
about boring.
You're ruining my moment.
Okay,
I
please.
have one moment in each episode, and that was it. And
Talk
it's-
about clay.
Yeah. On the way here, on the drive, which if you watch the movie, you'll see it, there is a clay street or avenue or road or boulevard. It's still doing it.
It should be no reason why this is doing this at all. Okay.
Anyway, going back to the prostitutes. Yeah!
Prostitutas.
Over the years, numerous guests have reported being awakened in the middle of the night and unable to return to sleep. That happened to you?
It did happen to me, actually, yes.
The majority of the time, it's male guests.
That's why we're here, because we are a couple of wild and crazy guys.
100% male.
That's right. All dude here. Head to toe dude.
Yeah.
Boom.
Like Iron Man.
Yeah. Pretty much. So
I wish I was like the Playboy millionaire philanthropist that he is too, not just the man.
No, you mean okay.
Just Robert Downey Jr.
There you go. All right.
Anyway, but a lot of the times men report having a feeling of hands being placed over their mouth or throat, or awakening, unable to breathe.
Or
Or
I was gonna say something totally inappropriate. Yeah, a little autoerotic asphyxiation never hurt anybody though. Little
you be careful. The last time you were laying on that bed and
yeah, and
you were making jokes.
I was making jokes. That's when it happened. But you know, a little help to help you conclude might not be a bad thing. I mean, maybe that's what they're doing. There's a couple of handy girls giving you a handy time. No. Okay. I don't talk like this normally, and I'm actually diffusing all of my nervousness with dirty jokes because that's how is my coping mechanism.
Is it working?
And I'm also hoping that I can provoke whatever's in here to do what it did again. But we will see. Please continue, Clay.
The next room over. 305.
305.
Known as the rocking chair room.
Now, I gotta say, seems like a couple of these rooms have the rocking chair story.
Yeah. Lady at the front desk said that she has seen the rocking chair in this room rock. So, again, rocking chairs, they're kind of designed to easily move.
Not doors. I'm still very dizzy, very nervous.
But 305 has been featured in many paranormal shows and is popular amongst curious guests. 305 is one of the most active rooms in the hotel, along with 306, which is funny too because if you see, you probably can't out the window, but if you see how the building is laid out, they're both they're both like right on the corner.
Yeah, 305 is right next to us.
Yeah, it's
right in front of us, actually.
Yeah. Guests and housekeepers have reported seeing the chair move by itself, and oftentimes knocking can be heard from within the closet in that room.
Which I believe their closet is on the other side of our closet.
So someone in 306 could be knocking on the closet of 305.
Could happen.
And the logical explanation is that it's ghosts.
Yes. I actually flew right to ghosts when I saw that door open, so whatever.
Well, you can't fly to like pinto beans. That doesn't make any sense. So, of course it was ghosts. It can't be pinto beans.
We'll see about it.
Anyway, going back to the rocking chair. Years ago, an elderly woman who was a long-term renter would sit in the rocking chair looking out the window for hours on end. So a lot of people think that it might be her spirit still looking out the window for hours on end.
Yeah, maybe. You know, here's the thing: is that not too scary, sitting in a room with an old lady, sweet old lady. A lot of people like that room. It's they're one of their favorite rooms. We went to the most unpopular room there is here, 306, because it's almost always vacant. Nobody wants to stay in this room, and they've had too many. This has been described to me from the last time I had a phone call with the lady at the front desk, which I believe was the manager. They leave in the middle of the night, not to get a refund because they cannot get a refund. So that's just one of the things they told me when I rented the room. It's like, hey, you can stay in that room, but if you leave, you're not getting a refund. So I think that's kind of interesting about this room. Even though 305, I would have loved to stay in because not as scary.
The point is, talk about scary, not talk about not as scary.
Yeah. So I'm doing a lot here. For you guys today. So you're gonna go to 220. I saw it. I see it on your.
You wanna go ahead? That's the Meat Man room.
I actually like this room a lot. I like the way it sounds.
I like meat.
I'm a man. Clay had some meat today. He had a burger.
I had a burger.
Nice. So this is an odd story. Room 220, which is below us and a little bit down the hall.
It's actually a pretty small hotel. There's a map on the door. A lot of hotels have that where it shows you, the fire exits and what rooms are there. And there's only about like 10 to 12 rooms on each floor.
I know how much.
Yeah, this is a relatively small hotel.
There was a long-term boarder that was kind of weird that stayed in room 220, which we took some pictures of, and we'll have them on our Instagram. Guys, we have an Instagram coming up. Please look for us on Instagram. What's the name of it?
Talk About Scary.
There you go. Don't forget, Talk About Scary on Instagram. Give us a like, or what do? They follow on Instagram, right? On the Instagrams. Yeah. Follow us on Instagram. Look at the pictures. We've got pictures of the rooms, the plaques, some of the famous stars that have stayed there. I think that's quite interesting. And room 220. The Meat Man room, again, he was a long-term boarder, and he was known by his strange habit of hanging raw meat from the chandelier. Nice, right? Classy. In the early 1980s, the lodger was found in his room 3 days after his death. Not long after this boarder's death, a maintenance worker was working on a few repairs. When in need of a new fixture, he left the room, turned the lights off, and locked the door. Returning only a few minutes later, he found the television on at full volume, and the linens on the bed had been ripped and scattered around the room. Today, it's most common for the television to act on its own accord, as well as reports of cold male hands touching guests in their sleep. Not on their privates, it doesn't say here, but I'm imagining it's your privates. I hope it's your privates.
Why does it have to be male hands?
He's male. So there you go.
Yeah, but would you ever describe that? Oh yeah, I was touched by a ghost and it was definitely male hands.
Nice. I'm going to do the bank robber too. This is no longer here, and I want to do the bank robber too. So when we stayed here 20 years ago, there was a really nifty bar on the 4th floor. And it came with all the original mirrors and wood finishings from the original hotel. And it was very spooky. It was beautiful. It was very spooky. Spooky.
Beautiful.
And it was original. For some reason, when they restored this place, I'm using quotation marks for the folks listening, they renovated it. They did a lot of stuff that wasn't here. They took that bar out. So now there's this little coffee shop bar downstairs. It's really trendy for all the millennials. No offense, Clay, but I miss the old-timey fun. Anyway, there was a bank robber in 1970. This is a documented story. He was a shootout. He ran with a bullet hole in him, and he came into this hotel and hid in that bar. And he asked for a drink, bleeding out. He tried to hide it, and he had his drink. He wound up dying in that bar. People to this day say they can see and hear him. It said he bled to death while enjoying his last drink, and people have reported being greeted by an anonymous voice saying good morning. There have also been reports of bar stools and drinks that have seemed to have moved on their own. However, the bar is no longer here. Where the hell is he going to go now? Thanks, guys. But I'm sure it's a room. Enjoy that. You can do Baby in the Basement if you want to, or there's a Phantom Bellboy, which I think is garbage. I'm going to play with these a little bit.
Ooh, spooky room.
Go ahead. Perfectly straight, not touching anything.
There is a baby in the basement.
That's it.
That's just what the story's called.
The end.
There's been disturbing sounds of an infant crying in the basement. Again and again. Lots of people have heard this. It's reported primarily by maintenance and laundry personnel. This is one of the most disturbing encounters that people have had at this hotel. Though the sounds are real to those who hear them, there have been absolutely no information that explains this phenomenon. No one knows, like, if a baby died there, just baby crying, infant crying. So you'll notice too, I'm sure you can hear it because of our mics, that it's noisy outside. You can hear the street. You can even hear people kind of chit-chatting as they walk by if they're loud enough. So, that being said, I wouldn't be surprised if people just hear babies crying and are like, it's in the basement.
Some things are real, some things aren't real, some things can be explained, some things can't be explained.
Until something happens to you, I don't know. I'm a believer, but that story just kind of...
Okay.
I don't know. We'll go searching for it later because I would love to accidentally stumble upon disturbing infant crying noises.
All right, so I'm not doing the Phantom Bellboy. That is stupid. You can do that one. I like the dancing couple because it's romantic. And it seems like there's a haunting in every corner of this place. I don't believe it, but we'll see. I am still pretty scared of that damn door.
Yeah, what are you looking at right now?
The door.
It's not moving.
I just don't. Okay. It says on several occasions, lounge and staff patrons have witnessed a transparent couple in the cocktail lounge. They are seen in formal dress, laughing and smiling, eternally dancing. I will say one thing. They say after any major renovation that's not a restoration in these haunted places, these supposedly haunted places, that's when the most activity happens because you piss off the ghosts.
Yeah.
Clay believes, as he said several times in the past, that energies are stored in certain areas, and it's not so much ghost of things as it is the energy from past events that have lingered. Maybe it's a parallel dimension, parallel universe kind of phenomena where these things are crossing over. I'm actually just expounding on this now. And maybe when they're in this area and they see things the way they should be and they instantly see things the way they're not supposed to be for a second, they flip out for a minute and then things are back to normal. Maybe they're constantly in flux and they're like, why did that carpet color change so rapidly? And they stop and then they're back to normal again. Who knows? Really, who knows? I'm not a scientist. I'm just a poor filmmaker.
We have no credibility to these shows. I thought this man was a scientist.
I am not a scientist. I'm not a doctor.
I think this is just one of those hotels. There's places like this on the earth. Just in every city's got them. I think this is just one of those places where a lot of stuff has happened. There's a very rich history. I mean, you'll see if you watch the movie, but we walked up and down the halls and took pictures and just talked about some of the famous people. I mean, there's a Michael J. Fox suite, Debbie Reynolds, I forget, what are we in, the Gary Cooper?
Oh, yeah, we forgot to say so many things. So, a part of Casablanca was filmed downstairs.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Right?
So there's so much foot traffic in this hotel. Famous people, murders, robberies.
Lots of murders happened here.
Yeah.
That's something that is
I mean, for
definitely
sure,
true.
documented 2 people flew out the window right behind us.
Yeah. There's been a lot of murders, a lot of weird deaths, unexplained deaths in this place. That is not something that's fabricated. It's something that's tangible that you can look up. Please feel free to do your own research. But it is absolutely there. Also, the place was built in 1927. So during the age of Prohibition, a lot of the Chinese immigrants that came over here to Arizona to work on railroads and things like that dug a series of tunnels under the city that were attached to here. And that's where they had all of their the smuggling of alcohol into this hotel, which turned into a speakeasy at the time. Brothel. This place was also a brothel, and under the tunnels there were brothels. People got murdered down in those tunnels too, and they did a lot of nefarious type shit down there. There was opium dens, which was really popular back then. So a lot of history in this place. Zane Grey himself donated copious amounts of money to the building of this community property. This was a community hotel for a very long time until it became private. So there's a lot of history here. And undoubtedly, if you believe in nonsensical things like spooks and specters, then this would be the place you'd want to go. And the place just looks creepy as hell. I mean, it looks like you stepped into a time machine.
It does.
Except for this luxurious couch we're sitting on. Everything else is pretty much old. Even these IKEA tables have got to be from like 20 years ago.
I mean, even the elevator's not working. They're having issues with the elevator. That's in the film too. I keep referencing the film, but watch the film if you're just listening to the podcast. Watch the film. But the elevator's not working, and we have to go up the stairs, and the stairs are just very narrow, old-timey, like, it's like stepping out of a time machine.
Should I tell them what the name's going to be of the film right now?
Well, they're watching it, so if they're watching this, they already know.
But the listeners.
You don't like...
The listeners.
All right, yeah,
It's called A Haunting at the Monte Vista. I think that's pretty... Or should it be a haunting at the Hotel Monte Vista. Which one should it be?
We don't have to decide right now. We're sorry that we wasted your time. Just
it's going to be...
Check out the movie. It's Talk About Scary, A Haunting at the Monte Vista.
They're probably going to do A Haunting at the Monte Vista.
Yeah,
I don't want to put too many. Even though A Haunting at the Hotel is a nice little piece of alliteration.
I think it's just called Hotel Monte Vista.
Okay.
But
we'll call it The Monte Vista then. I like that better. A Haunting at the Monte Vista. Let's just do that.
Haunting.
Listen for that. That's what we're doing.
Monte Vista.
So, yeah.
Check it out. Check out the film. We're going to be doing some ghost hunting.
Ghost hunting here.
Both cameras.
By the way, there's a logbook downstairs, or there used to be, and I think it's still down there, with everybody who's ever said that they've seen anything in here, and it's like a Bible. It's so big. People come. The joint's jumping tonight. Every room.
It is.
Every room was booked, except
this one.
This one. Nobody wants to stay in this room. They were very, very clear about that. So, we'll see what happens. They'd rather stay in a room that has a communal shower and a toilet.
Yeah, that's weird to me. We have a good 1 foot by half a foot bathroom just for us.
That doesn't happen in these old hotels.
Like, I barely fit in that bathroom.
This is a luxurious suite for back in the day. Back in 1927. Luxury all around. So
Luxury. Thy name is prostitute.
Prostitution. Was it legal? It was legal back then for a while, wasn't it? I don't know either.
I don't learn about that in school.
No, they don't teach us that.
Not that I'm in school anymore. I've been out long enough that I would have forgotten anyway. But you get the point. But I think we're running low on time for this episode.
Yeah, let me check. Let's see what we got.
Keep it
Scary.
at about the same length as the rest.
Yeah, we're out of time. So we started about 4 minutes early, so we're right where we need to be.
Perfect.
So,
watch the film. Let's recap. Watch the film. We're sitting in room 306 of the Hotel Monte Vista in historic, cold Flagstaff, Arizona. And we are going to try to provoke everything and everything's mother tonight to see what we can get on camera.
that's right.
Check it out. You might see Adam get scared. You might see me pee myself.
Might happen.
It might.
It might happen. I already got scared once you guys missed it. See you next time. And as always, guys, thanks for listening. And please, creep it real.
That's right.
Keep it real.
That's
all right, guys. See, that was a really good episode.
That was a good episode.
Flowed nice. It's easier when we're both in the room.
Yeah, I think it helps that we're here though, because
We gotta do this more often.
that camera though, why was that doing? Like, why did it stop? Because I thought maybe when you got up, it would fix it.